Hello, everyone. I'm Alex,
I'm David.
and we are the Early Intervention Brothers. And today we're joined by a very special guest.
Hi, good morning. I'm Gabby Reyes, and I am an outreach coordinator with United Cerebral Palsy. I'm a local here in the Valley, in the Coachella Valley. I graduated from Indio High School. I also graduated from Cal Poly Pomona, and I wanted to come back and help out my community.
That is amazing, Gabby. We're so excited to have you. I know we go back quite a ways, but I know you and David go back even further. David, do you want to say how you
Yes.
and Gabby know each other?
We actually met down in a little city called Salt City, California, at a
Where
local
I
high
st
school
where I still live.
where you still live,
Oh,
where
there you
Gabby still
go.
lives. Um, we both I think Abby, you were coordinator for after school program. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Hmm.
And I got my first gig as a high school football coach at that time, about 10 years ago. And we both recognized we both have a passion for working with teens or working with kids. That's when we ran into each other,
Yes,
because we both recognized and
Servicing the community.
correct services of community.
exactly.
And it's funny because it wasn't our colleagues talking about our passion for doing it was the kids telling each other, oh, this coach really helps out, or this coordinator really helps out. It was really the kids giving out that output of, we're here to help you.
Nice.
And I believe how me and Gabby interacted, our first interaction was, we both waited at the school to make sure all of our kids were picked up. And I was like,
Oh,
hey, that looks like an adult. And she was like, hey, that looks like an adult. And we crossed paths that way. And
so
we both
age
realized that
range. How old were you guys,
I was
Oh
21.
wow.
Gabby?
21 and I was 20 26, 27. If it was 10 years ago, actually, it was about probably I was 29.
Was it 10 years ago?
It
Was
was
it 10
about 10
years?
years.
It's
About
about
10
10
years.
years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, 10
Yeah,
years ago.
Wow.
actually 12 years ago, because
Oh,
I
12.
went, yeah, 12 years ago, to be honest with you, because I just celebrated my work anniversary with UCP. Awesome.
There we
Um,
go.
and yeah, it was actually, yeah, I was 28. I was 28. I
Wow.
went straight from West Shores to Cal Poly.
Awesome. And do you
So
remember that moment that David just described?
yes, it was kind of like, oh, hi, we're adulting. Get in the bus.
Get
That
out of
is
the street. Get
awesome.
out of the street.
That is awesome.
Yes,
That is
yes,
amazing
yes.
to hear. That is great to hear, actually. And then for Gabby and myself, with the inner circles that we work in, that's how we were able to connect and collaborate either through the regional center as well as monthly meetings that we attend for our community. And I just thought, like, hey, you know what? Got to get Gabby on our YouTube channel because, Gabby, I've always been impressed by your willingness to impact the community and to help and to spread awareness. And I said, we need her on. We need some extra flair. So that's what's something that I want you to talk about next is, what is it that you do? What is the company that you work for? And what type of services do you guys provide?
So I am the outreach coordinator with United Cerebral Palsy of the Inland Empire. We service, of course, the entire Inland Empire. That is all the way, everything in Riverside County. So all the way to Barstow, all the way west to Temecula Valley, all the way to Corona, Chino, you name it, from corner to
Wow.
corner of San Bernardino and Riverside County.
And
So
that's
our
in
major,
Southern
yes.
California for our viewers who are maybe outside of the country, because I think we do have one or two. A
Oh, awesome. You guys are reaching out. That's
little bit, a little
amazing.
bit.
That's a wide area of range right there,
Oh,
Gabby.
and then if you're talking geographics, we're actually the two largest counties in the state of California.
That's correct.
Nice,
Yep.
Yes.
nice. So
So
what,
yeah.
in your position, what types of services do you connect families with?
So some of the services that we provide, or one of our major services that we provide with Inland Regional Center, our great community at Inland Regional Center, is that we provide in-home respite care services to children and adults with intellectual and developmental disability. Everything. I know it's kind of a little weird because a lot of people hear cerebral palsy and they think that we only service children or adults with cerebral palsy, and we don't. We service everything that Inland Regional Center recognizes as a diagnosis. So we service children and adults with autism, Down syndrome, epilepsy. of course, cerebral palsy and anything in that ID diagnosis, or also in the DB diagnosis, so intellectual or developmental disability. So that's the community that we service.
Wow,
Nice.
that's amazing. I had no clue that was the qualification. Because I've always, just from the name, I always thought it was cerebral palsy that was a qualifier. So
Yeah.
today, learning something new, that's something, once again, we can outreach, we can put it out there that
Hmm.
these services exist.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I know for my future families and my families that I have, that diagnosis, that word diagnosis, and even in the school districts, that word diagnosis comes with many different things and many different
Yes.
programs.
Many different fears.
Of course.
Yes. 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 Unfortunately, yes.
Which is something that I want us to talk about next is, so you work directly with parents, correct, Gabby?
Yes. Yes.
What do you feel is a common ground for them when they're just getting started with the service that you can offer? Like, share some of the things that you've experienced, maybe something the parents have said, so that way we can give the viewers a little bit more of an understanding on what really occurs when they're getting started with the service.
So one of the things that I come across of a lot is the personal perspective, the community, the great community connection that we do. Because one of the things that we do when I get the referral for the respite care services is I conduct a home visit. So I go to the family's home. I conduct a mini interview about the child or their loved one that's going to be obtaining the respite care services. Just a couple of questions and what they like, what they don't like, um, what's their favorite cartoon? Oh, mom says, oh, they like pizza. Oh, cheese pizza, pepperoni pizza. Making it very personable, and as well as including the kids and their own services, letting them know this is what we're doing for you, including the siblings as well. Because I mean, of course, we want to make sure that we include the siblings. Some of the things that I come across of as well is I had a situation the first time that I started working with Cal Poly. I mean, with UCP, I apologize. The first time I started working with UCP, I got a call from a mom saying, "Oh, can I feel really guilty to ask, but can my respite worker come over while I go shopping with my daughter?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I go, "If you don't mind me asking," I go, "what's the occasion? What are you guys planning?" And then just to look forward to in case of maybe the respite worker might be needed at a different time. So it's like, well, she was invited to homecoming. It's like,
Whoa,
oh, okay. That's a big event.
that is a major
She's
event.
like, a major event, yeah, especially in high school. I
Hmm.
mean, and of course, the respite care services was arranged. It was confirmed for the time and the date that the person was going to be there to provide the supervision and care. And um, come Monday, mom actually called me back and said, "Miss Gabby, I really, really appreciate it." And I go, "That's what we're here for. We're here
Yeah.
to help you out as much as we can." I go, "If you don't mind me asking, how did it go?" This is homecoming for her oldest daughter. She has a younger daughter who we service who has Down syndrome. And she's like, "Well, it, it's it was eventful." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. So how did it go?" I mean, I'm trying to get a conversation with mom, making sure that we're here for her for any type of occasion.
There you go.
And she let me know. She says it was eventful for the fact that I got to know my daughter. I
Wow.
go, "What do you mean?" She's like, "Yeah." I go, "All this time, I wanted to make sure that my younger daughter got the services that she needed, the support that she needed to better her future, start at an early age, being able to give her all that support." And my oldest daughter was kind of there to help me out with the younger sibling and everything. I go, "But I never really actually had a conversation with her."
Wow.
And it was like, yeah, she's like, "I was very surprised that my daughter actually wants to pursue occupational therapy and help
Ooh,
kids like her sister."
that's amazing.
So not only does a respite provide you that support you need at home, but it also gives parents the opportunity to step outside and
Hmm.
see what their family is about, see what future holds not only for themselves but also holds for their entire family. So I call it a dual
Amen.
service
That is
because
true.
it's
True.
there,
Hmm.
exactly, it's there to provide that the child needs at home, but it also gives mom and dad the opportunity to take care of themselves and to take care of any other family situation that's going on around them. And that's what we're here
Wow.
for.
Wow, that's so impactful. And you hit on a very critical point, the family dynamic. You know, when
Exactly.
providing services, we often focus in on that one individual that we're providing the service to.
Yeah.
But there's so much more to it. The family
Yes.
dynamic, the other relationships, the siblings, the parents' relationship between each other. And I often tell a lot of the families when I come into the home, it's a one-to-one service, but it's
Hmm.
one professional for your one family. Because
Exactly.
that's what we're there to do. We're there to impact the family and help them break down barriers and empower them to go out and take their child out into the community, because
Hmm.
that's how their child's going to learn, and that's going to
Exactly.
help the child just experience so much more and grow so much more and
Yeah.
become comfortable in an uncomfortable situation, maybe being in a crowd or something like that, but they can't experience that if they never go out.
Yeah. And then this way also, I mean, I know, like you said, a lot of our kids may not be able to go out and experience in the public, but at least with one of our respite workers being able to provide the comfort phone at home, it also
Mhm.
provides them the connection with other community members that surround them.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. That's an awesome story. David, do you have anything for Gabby?
Yeah, I think just that personal connection that you had with that family so that they can ask you, can I have a worker to so that so me and my daughter can go get a homecoming dress or go get ready for homecoming. I think that personal connection, like you said, getting to know families, those original questions like they like pizza. Oh, they like pepperoni pizza. They what kind of cartoons? Once again, if you want when you really establish their interest, I know for my families, they they really respect that
Yeah.
and they understand like we're not just there to show up, we're really there to help them, we're really there
Exactly.
to connect with them and
Yeah.
be heard.
Hmm.
Another thing that I was sort of thinking outside the box here was because you gave them that opportunity for mom and daughter to go shopping for homecoming dresses or homecoming stuff, what that did was it now put homecoming atmosphere in the home, so
Ooh.
Yes.
possibly
Outside
later.
coming in.
Yeah. So
Yep.
now later down the line, maybe when it is brother or sister's turn to go to homecoming, that word, that experience, that memory is going to come up where
Mhm.
it is now your turn. Sort of like if you're handing the torch over. Now it's your turn
Exactly.
to
Yeah.
experience
And
homecoming.
it's not
So
just the siblings going to homecoming, it's that young child
yep,
with Down syndrome going to homecoming as
Yep.
well for mom. And
exactly.
it's like brings up the comfort that they are experiencing with homecoming with their
Mhm.
other children in the family.
I
But
agree
also it's like,
100%.
hey, let's give
Yep.
our child with Down syndrome an experience.
Yeah. And
And
that's
that's what
huge.
life is. That's life.
It's
That's
life
Getting
life.
those
experiences.
experiences,
Mhm.
Yep.
and I think Alex touched about that stigma of different things. If we could just put that to the side
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
understand that if by leaving our houses, by leaving our comfort zone, you are gaining experience.
Mhm.
And and I mean that falls into different tiers and different experiences in itself. But
Yeah.
yes, I 100% agree. Great job, Gabby.
Great job,
Thank you
Gabby.
so much, guys. Thank you so much.
No, and
So,
it is critical. It is critical, especially with the service that we provide, early intervention. There is a lot of fear of like, oh, is my child going to get to do this? Oh, everyone's going to be looking, everyone's going to be staring, everyone's going to be watching. And that pressure on parents who have a child or an infant or toddler that has a disability or a diagnosis, what ends up happening and what I've seen over the last 11 years is parents stop going out and they
mhm,
just cut off the world of experience to their child, not because they want to just not do it, just because it's a lot of pressure. And it does take parents coming to a certain point in their development and just, you know what, I'm going to run through this wall, whatever happens happens, my child needs the experience. But with the service that Gabby provides, it's not a hand out but a hand up and a moment
yes,
just to
exactly.
experience.
Exactly. So, I mean, in regards to the stigma as well, guys, I do want to let you guys know that we also have a parent empowerment program.
Ooh,
So,
preach on it. Preach
which
on it.
which brings up the fact that, like you guys mentioned, is mom and dad feeling isolated. And with the empowerment program, it connects different parents. We connect parents together, letting them know they're not alone.
That's right.
They're not alone in their child's journey. They're not alone in their child's medical condition, if there is any other medical conditions that are taking place. They're not alone in general, because we have been able to connect parents together in the community, and being able to connect them with a great family family therapist who
Wow.
also has a child. So they have that connection, being able to be parents, out in the community, either be professional or non-professional.
Mhm.
They have that connection of having the experiences that their child are experiencing.
Wow. Building an
So
army.
that's another great program. Yes, exactly. It's been a great outcome. We wanted to make sure, like we said, there was that missing piece for our parents, that they were saying, okay, yeah, I have the respite, but I have this situation going on.
Mhm.
And we want to be able to fill in the gaps for our parents and let them know, hey, well, let's see how we can help.
Nice.
And you're not alone.
Nice. Because it takes a village. It takes a village,
Exactly.
and bringing others together. And like in our family with David and myself, we have this saying, we're stronger when we're together. And it's same thing with
Exactly.
families going through something similar. It might not be exactly the same, but being able to pair families together, maybe someone's a little further along in their journey that's
Hmm.
taking full advantage. And trust me, we want people to take advantage of the services that are there.
Yeah,
And like how you said, it's empowering. And we're all about empowering here at the Early Intervention Brothers YouTube channel. That's what we want. We want to empower the community. We want to empower the parents. And more importantly, we want to empower the individual child or client that we're working with.
exactly. So, in regards to empowering our kids, we have also our social recreational program, which
Woo,
right now
keep it
we're
coming.
going on Zoom. I got a lot of stuff for you guys. And when it comes to our social recreational program, it's been amazing. And we have had 6 social recreational programs, getting connected with our community partners, with the City of Indio at the Indio Teen Center, with the Boys and Girls Clubs here in the Coachella Valley. So it's been a great experience for our kids, having them surrounded by their own peers that are
Huge.
do not have a disability, and they
Right.
feel, and we want to be able to provide that inclusion also for our kids. I mean, give that inclusion to our parents. Yes,
Hmm.
have them not feel alone. Yes, but also provide that inclusion to our kids and letting them know, hey, if he can do it, I can do it.
Yep.
And some of the things that we've implemented from the beginning, of course, just a side note, a lot of our social recreational programs, of course, right now are being virtual. So you guys
Hmm.
still have access to them. But let's say, for example, our karate program. We
Mm.
have a great martial arts sensei, Miss Tamra, who has greatly named our kids her little ninjas. So they've
Uh,
been amazing. That they've had the opportunity to provide the well, she's had the opportunity to provide the martial arts perspective for physical and mental abilities.
wow.
Some of our parents have been actually very verbal about it and said, you know what, his behaviors has gone down,
Mm,
their connection, their enthusiasm for physical activity has gone up,
nice.
being able to be more social with other kids out in the community. It's his confidence has gone raising sky high, and that's what we want
Amazing.
for our kids. We want to be able to create individuals that feel empowered and have that confidence to say, hey, I'm Alex, nice to
Mhm.
meet you.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's what we
And
want.
in terms of the physical and good health perspective, we also have our yoga. Our
Whoa.
yoga has been very impactful.
What do you not
uh,
do, right? What is it that you don't provide? Because you just keep coming out with tricks like Mary Poppins, just one after another out of the bag.
Hey, you know what? We're an all one-stop shop. We try our best to provide that community connection to our parents, to our kids. We are here to help, honestly.
Awesome.
And also, who would have thought CrossFit would have fit into our child's vocabulary?
Wow. Breaking down
CrossFit.
barriers. Breaking
Um,
down barriers.
exactly. Miss Cheryl, our great instructor, has been able to continue with the program virtually
Awesome.
and has actually used some of the stuff that we have in our own home to be able to provide that physical, that enhancement and good health right in our own homes.
Awesome. And that's a major
So
thing.
it's
We didn't really
awesome.
get to talk on it too much, but in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, you guys are still providing these services, correct?
Exactly. Yes.
Huge.
Yes.
So there's
We try
really
our best
go
to
for it, go for it.
provide, to continue that support to our families that, I mean, for some of them has been a great change in
Mm.
impact in their lives. A lot of our kids are very scheduled, like
Mhm.
they know what they need, they know what's coming up. And for this pandemic, unfortunately, it has completely I mean, done a 360 on our kids' schedule,
Yeah,
on our kids' lifestyles. We want to be able to continue at least provide some routine and the support that they need in their own home.
there you go. So not even the pandemic will slow you guys down, right? Not even that. In closing, David, is there anything else you have for Gabby? We'll start to wind down. Gabby, it's been amazing. Like, I'm learning a ton just having you on. But David, do you have anything for Gabby?
I mean, these programs that you're talking about are just so enriching,
Mm,
for everyone, not talking about diagnosis, not talking about anything like, but just the enriching of those programs, the
Yeah.
self-confidence, the ability for them to, oh, that's my karate buddy, or that's my ninja buddy, oh, that's my yoga buddy. Like, I know for myself, sports was a big impact when I was a kid, or programs, youth centers was a big impact for when I was a kid.
mhm.
So having those, and because of COVID, how you guys converted everything, you guys didn't stop. You guys found a way to make it consistent for those kids, consistent for your clients. I think that's the biggest thing right now. Is, yeah, it's still over Zoom or in a computer, but it's consistent. I'm still seeing you. I'm still connecting with you. And I think overall, that's going to help anyone's mental health overall.
Yep.
Yep.
So great stuff, Gabby. I'm super
Thank
excited
you so much,
to,
guys. I
to,
really,
to
really
hear these
appreciate.
programs.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. I mean, with your YouTube channel, you guys have done an amazing job. You guys
Thank
bring
you.
that enthusiasm to anything, to be honest with you. You guys are awesome. I mean, just
Appreciate
the
it.
energy that you guys bring to the entire family working together. And that's what we're here for. We're
That's what
here
we're here
for
for.
be able to work with families, not just as individuals, but be able to work with families as a whole. David, you mentioned it. It's bringing the connection together as a family and being able to bring the family to the community as well.
Yeah. Yep.
Keeping
So
that connection.
that's exactly. We're gonna end on that, Gabby. We're definitely planning in the future to have you on, and we will be leaving the YouTube channel to the agency that Gabby works for. So please check it out. It will be in the description. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and see what they're about further. Gabby, would it be okay for me to leave your contact information in case someone wants to contact you down in the
Sure.
description?
Yeah.
So if
And that
anyone
would be
lives,
perfectly fine.
perfect. So in
I'm
Southern
here to help,
California,
guys.
she's there. Take advantage of it. We're still operating. Your child has a diagnosis or a developmental delay. Don't put that on hold because of the pandemic. Services are out
Yeah.
there for you to embrace, to empower, and to level up. Thank you all for tuning in. Everyone, take care. Be safe.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Guys, have a good one.